folks, with the wicked, conniving, covert plans of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his enforcer, Bayo Onanuga, I'm very sorry to say, but there is no choice at this time. Igbos need to leave Nigeria. Igbos need their own country. Because the reality is that Igbos are not dealing with fair people. It seems like even among your own friends from certain segments of Nigeria, they like to pretend they don't see what's going on or pretend they don't understand what you're saying. I couldn't believe that some friends of mine from other tribes, a specific tribe, were calling me to say, oh, is it really true that these people are not Igbos? And these are educated people with bachelor's and master's degrees and advanced degrees. Igbos need to leave Nigeria. Igbos need their own country. Nigeria is not for us because many who you associate with in Nigeria are holding daggers and stabbing you in the back.
You either pick up the gun, which many people have variously advocated, or you take the other path, which is the one I have always advocated, non-violent. But until such a time as when the system changes, and that system will not change if you do not change the operators of the system. The first demand that must be unequivocal across the length and breadth of Nigeria is a demand for electoral reform.
Believe it or not, there are quite a few Yorubas like Dele Farotimi who share Dele Farotimi's sentiments about fairness in Nigeria. What I do is very difficult when you hear me continue to call out the bigotry of many Yoruba people who see the atrocities that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Bayo Onanuga and their bigoted group who think like them. They see the atrocities and the wicked plans that these people have against Igbos in Nigeria. And they pretend they don't see it. Why do you want to share a country? Why do I, as an Igbo person, want to share a country with people who don't have my best interest at heart? It's a rhetorical question. It's one for every one of us to think about. Hello, everybody. Once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Island TV. And as usual, I like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on where you are around the world. Today, I want to talk to Igbos very candidly. But it's also a message that I want Tinubu's bigots to hear very soundly. In my last video, I shared a very, very distorted, hateful message that a Tinubu pocketed agent put out there, spreading lies and rumors about Igbos, more or less saying that the Igbo percentage in Nigeria is probably less than the percentage of who is the smallest tribe in Nigeria. Just think about that. There's nothing wrong with that ignorance if it ended there. What really bothers me is that as strong as that message was, it's recorded less than 500 views, maybe about 450 views. And that's because we as a people, Igbos, have a way of undermining serious messages besides the one I'm doing now. If you haven't shared that last message, it may make sense for you to share it so that more people would see it, but also lend your own voice to it from your own standpoint. It's time for Igbos to decide who they want to be in Nigeria. You don't have to buy into Nnamdi Kanu's message all the way. But think about what makes sense that he's been lamenting about. And tell me that those things don't affect you, and I'll tell you you're a liar. We don't have to get a separate country the Nnamdi Kanu way. But we could build some kind of a hybrid where you bring a little bit of the Nnamdi Kanu idea, you bring all the ideas up. What's important is that Igbos need to make a plan to get the fuck out of Nigeria as soon as possible. Because the people you're dealing with, forget about Bola Ahmed, Tinubu and Onanuga. Those are enemies you know and you know how to avoid. What about Yorubas you call your friends within your circles who pretend they don't see what's going on because it's their tribe or because they benefit from it? What good is one Nigeria if the people you are one Nigeria in with are stabbing you in the back? With that said, I want you to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and make comments about this video and other videos. And on that note, I'm going to play you 4 different feedback from 4 different viewers like you. And the most important one of those 4 that I'm going to share is the one that was sent by a Yoruba person. I wouldn't say if he's male or female. I wouldn't say the name, but I want you to hear a Yoruba person's sentiment about the bigoted message that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Bayo Onanuga are paying people to share about Igbos. Now, the first one comes from this Yoruba person, and it says, enough of all these problems from Bayo Onanuga and his paymaster, Tinubu. If they don't want the Igbos in Lagos or Nigeria, they should let Igbos go their separate way in peace. These Igbos are the economic tribe of the whole Nigeria, especially when it comes to trading. This tribe can manage Nigeria's economy for all of us. The hardship of what Bayo Onanuga and Tinubu are doing with their bigotry will be suffered by Yorubas. That is the same Yoruba tribe they claim they want to protect. This is very telling. And this is my sentiment. And before I go deep into it, I want to make it clear that what she said is that Igbos can manage Nigeria's economy from the standpoint of what they specialize in, which is trading. She's not saying that Igbos are the only ones capable of managing Nigeria's economy, because that's what the bigots will read. The next one says the name of that idiot is George Onyiberibe. I think George must be his first name. The Onyiberibe is just a made-up name. He's from Abo. He used to broadcast for IPOB until he was sacked for his criminality. That doesn't surprise me. These are the kind of hired guns that go everywhere they can benefit until the things are no longer going their way. Then they have to move on to take money from somebody else and smear somebody else. But that's just 2 of the comments that we received from viewers like you. Then the next one says, this insanity and madness will surely catch up with all of them in Jesus Christ's mighty name. And the last one says, sad and provocative statements from a paid operator. It seems that he harbors a lot of anger emanating from the fact that he cannot compete in an environment dominated by Igbos with skills. Now he is sounding off about a topic he doesn't understand. He has been prepped by Bayo Onanuga. He's also a disciple of Femi Fani-Kayode. I don't know where Fani-Kayode comes into that. I'm focusing on Bayo Onanuga. But folks, the bottom line is that as a people, Igbos can see that at least a good number of Yorubas at this time are blinded by Bola Ahmed Tinubu's bigotry because he's a Yoruba man. That's fine. All I'm saying is we can love our Yoruba friends. There's nothing wrong with being friends. But we don't have to share the same country with people who cannot defend evil, because the evil, who cannot reject evil, because the evil is being done by their tribesmen. It's no point being in the same country with such people. Like Dele Farotimi said, let's fight peacefully, demonstrate peacefully to get our own separate Igbo country. And if they are not going to let it be done in peace, over 4 million have died since 1967. And we haven't achieved anything. Maybe it's time to come back with violence to get what we want. And whoever that violence falls upon, let it be what they get for pretending they don't see evil while evil is going on. Folks, before I conclude, here is what I want every Igbo person in Nigeria to think about everybody we relate to in Nigeria. And I'm sorry to say, especially, here is how every Igbo person needs to think about a Yoruba person in Nigeria. If the average Yoruba person you and I call friends in Nigeria pretends they don't see these atrocities by Bayo Onanuga and Bola Ahmed Tinubu and their thugs and their fellow bigots, especially in Lagos, but realistically these days across Yoruba land. A very educated friends you have in Yoruba land with bachelor's and master's degrees and other advanced degrees who live in America and the United Kingdom and other civilized democratic parts of the world are going to always pretend they don't see anything wrong with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And when you bring it up in a conversation, they avoid it. They are complacent. Or if they're so happy that such an evil, wicked message supports their prejudices against us, why do we want to be one Nigeria? With all the people that are agitating in Nigeria and getting away with it, why is Nnamdi Kanu still locked up? If Bola Ahmed Tinubu would not release Nnamdi Kanu and give Igbos a schedule of how soon Nnamdi Kanu will be released, and if Bayo Onanuga is Bola Ahmed Tinubu's special assistant on media-related issues, the senior special assistant, which means he's in charge of all the propaganda in Nigeria, people should demand that Bayo Onanuga either be fired or his role in media related things in Nigeria be reduced, because whatever he's doing there does not take the sentiment of Igbos into consideration when he's doing his media promotion for Nigeria. And if he's Tinubu's choice for that job, it means that everything he's doing covertly and overtly to destroy Igbos in Nigeria is formulated in Tinubu's bedroom, and he's the messenger that brings it to the bigots on the streets that go out to implement it. Igbos, atuala omalo, atuala ofeke, ofelo bayanofia. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Island TV. And until next time, make sure you share, make sure you like, make sure you leave your comment, and take time and subscribe to our channel. Good night and God bless.
We had no timepiece, the cockcrow and the sun, all we had. Rise early at sunup, we'd go to the farms, drive the monkeys away from the maize farms, and the birds away from the rice farms. Come back home at sundown.